Bez Hashem, Parshas Teruma, Tovshin Ayin Tes, Yeshiva Tiferes Chaim. We find this week's parsha, the Indian of the Kalim of the base of the Mishkan, and we find the Keruvim. The pasuk states, "Vayakruvim parsei kanafayim lamala seichim kanfeim ala kapiris." Their wings were raised upwards, like we all know this motion. Their wings are raised upwards over the kapiris. U'pneim isha achiv. Their faces were one man to each other. They were looking at each other. We know Chazal say that the Keruvim demonstrated our relationship between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. When the Yidden were in a good relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu and Hashem was happy with our ma'asim, the Keruvim were embracing and they were looking towards each other. When we were not doing well, so then they were facing away from each other. So we know the Yeshiva's Vart, he always says about the Keruvim, parsing in the final mala, u'pnei isha achiv, that when it comes to your ruchnis, you have to have ambitions and you have to have dreams and goals and you have to have aspirations to become great. You have to always be looking upwards. Think all about yourself. When it comes to Bein so then pnei isha achiv, then you have to be looking at the other person. Then you have to be worried about what the other person needs. You have to be worried about what Yeder needs. You have to always be thinking about the other person, not thinking about yourself. Think about how can I help the other person. And I want to speak about that topic, about the topic of thinking about other people, Pnei Isha Achiv, about worrying about what other people need. We know, we just learned from Matis Edelson that the purpose of our life in this world is for one thing. Matis Edelson writes, the Shleimus Amiti Hu Dveikus Bayis Barach. The Shleimus Amiti is Dveikus to Hashem. So what's Dveikus? A few different pshatim in Dveikus. Dveikus, the Gemara Saita Yadalet says, that the pasuk says in Dvarim, Voy Sidvak. You should be David to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's a mitzvah's essay. To be David to Kadosh Baruch Hu, to cling to Hashem. How do you cling to Hashem? By saying, me and Hashem are like this. That's how you cling to Hashem. I have a shirt, Ani Yohev Kadosh Baruch Hu. But the Gemara in Saita says, Voy Sidvak, how can you connect to Hashem? How is it possible? Vala Kasiv, Hu Eishach Elasu is a fire. If you get close to Hashem, is a fire. Ella, Davik Min Doisav. You should be Davik to His ways. Mahu rachum, afatorachum. Just like Hashem is merciful, so you should be merciful. Mahu bikar chaylim, you should also be bikar chaylim. Mal b'sharumim, you should always mal b'sharumim. And that is what Dveikus is. Dveikus is emulating HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, Father, how do you learn how to emulate HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How do you learn? The way to do that is by learning the Torah. The more Torah you learn, the greater you can emulate Hashem. But the greatest perfection and shleimus is being like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Becoming a person with good midas of thinking about other people. The Teruma Dvaira starts off in the beginning of Teruma Dvaira. Ha'adam roi shegiz ismat dam elikoinoi. It's roi that you should become similar to the Eibishter. Ve'oz yiyeh b'sayid atzir al. Then you will be like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you become like him, then you'll be like Hashem. Then you'll be David HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So how do you become like Hashem? How do you become a voice of God? By doing His midosav. By doing Rachum, Chanun, Erech Apayim, slow to anger. All these midos. The more you emulate Hashem, the closer you become to Him. There's one midah in particular that I want to speak about, and that is, and really it's all the midas. It's really all the midas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is Avas Yisrael, loving other Yidden. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He has unbelievable love for us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves every single Yid, and really that is what the Keruvim represent. The Keruvim represent HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. And the Gemara says that all the Ksuvim are Kodesh. All the Sifrei Tanakh are all Kodesh. But Shir HaShirim is Kodesh Kodashim, that's what the Gemara says. Shir HaShirim, which is all talking about the love between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. If we would read Shir HaShirim and we would read with the Mefarshim and we would properly go through it and every single pasuk, we would see the love that Hashem has for us, the unlimited love that Hashem loves every single Yid. And that is a midah that we have to have, which really is the springboard for all midas taivas. Is Avas Yisrael, loving every Yid. And that's what we learn from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just like He loves us, He's Erech Apayim, and He overlooks His Albanis, the Teruma Dvaira says. He gives in, He's mevater on what we do to Him. When somebody picks up his hand, or he opens his mouth to say something bad to somebody else. Who is giving him that blood and that life every single second to say do all these bad things? Hashem. Hashem is soivel all the chutzpah that people have towards Him. Every time somebody does a chet, Hashem is giving him the blood to do the chet. Imagine a guy wants to go do bad things, do crimes. You're giving him the weapons. That's what you're doing. You're giving him the weapon to do the crime against yourself. That's what Hashem is doing. He's giving us life. Hashem, every single second, He's Samech Neiflim. He supports us every single second, right? Samech Neiflim. Every single second He supports us. So therefore, we have to realize that we have to be the same way. We have to love every single Yid, even if the guy does something not so nice to us, this and that. And what is one way how to build love? Everybody always wants to know, how do I get to Ahavas Yisrael? How do I get to love other guys? The guy is annoying. The guy who doesn't pick up his dirty socks from the floor. The guy who breathes smoke in my face when I'm trying to eat supper. He does all these sorts of hurtful things. When I'm around him, he unleashes a torrent of improper. So how do I love the guy? How do I love him? So the pasuk in Mishlei gives incredible insight how to love other people, even if you feel that they may not be deserving of your love. The pasuk says, "Kemayim hapanim lepanim keim leva adam laadam." The way that you act to other people, that's the way they act towards you. And if you act towards them in a nice way, they'll act towards you in a nice way. And this agav is a good tip. If you ever have a guy who has animosity towards you, he hates you, doesn't like you, he treats you like garbage, you should start talking nicely to him, start giving compliments, start doing nice things for him, and you'll notice all of a sudden, it'll be instant change, instantaneous change. I've experienced this. And you'll see that all of a sudden they'll start liking you. There's a story brought down of Chaim was once walking somewhere to go do a mitzvah pidin shvuyim, and he had to go through a forest, and in the forest he got captured by highway robbers, by thugs, by bandits. And they captured him and they wanted to kill him. So they said, okay, anything you want to do before you die? The last words, he's like, yeah, give me a few minutes, please. Closed his eyes, he started concentrating intently, very deeply. Started thinking very deeply. So, all of a sudden, the chief of the robbers said, you're free to go, you're a free man. And he left, and that's it. And he got home safely. So afterwards, his Talmidim said to him, tell us, Rabbi, what did he do? What type of yichudim did he think about? What type of shemus did he think about? That all sorts of different things, Kabbalah, that you were able to make them free you. He said, all I thought about was one thing. I didn't want to leave this world having any anger against any other people, any hakpada. So I decided in my heart, I'm going to try to love these people. So I started thinking about these robbers, being down the Katzchus. No, really not such bad people. Really, they want to kill me because they don't know what else to do with their lives. It's how they're brought up. And they never went to Yeshiva, they never went to Cheder. I started thinking how much I loved them and how much they were such good people. And since I thought that I loved them, so now, they love me also, and therefore they let me go. They love me. They said, no, we can't kill this guy, we love him. So they let him go. So that is one thing you have to work on loving other people, is talking nicely to other people. You start loving other people. And the Mesilas Yesharim in Perek Yutes says an unbelievable thing. Mesilas Yesharim says, Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu oyev el mi she'oyev Klal Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu only loves somebody who loves other Jews. If you are not a person who loves other Jews, Hashem does not love you. You can do everything good, you can have the longest tzitzis, you have the longest davening, and the longest lulav, but Hashem will not love you if you don't love Klal Yisrael. You have to love everybody. You have to love every single Yid. And one aspect of loving Yidden, which I want to speak about, is speaking nicely to other people, besides the fact that they'll love you and you'll love, but also to help other people, to have chesed, to do chesed with other people. The Nefesh Chaim writes in Hakdama, Chaim writes that the whole purpose of this world is to do chesed. That's the whole purpose of this world, to do chesed. Now, of course, we know Talmud Torah Kanei Kulam, Torah is the greatest chesed. But most people are not going to be able to be Isaac in Torah their whole lives, throughout their whole lives. Most people are not zeicha to that great prestige and honor of learning Torah their whole lives. Most people have to go and work and support themselves. So in that aspect, you're always in a situation where you have to do chesed with other people, whether they're married or they're not married. See, marriage is an opportunity to always constantly be doing chesed with somebody else. Even if you're not married, even if you are married, but even not in the confines of marriage, you could be in other circumstances, in other areas, in other situations. Be a business, be in yeshiva, be in the marketplace. But it's like you're married to other people. I heard this from Victor Miller. It's unbelievable chiddush. Imagine when you're walking the streets, you're constantly interacting with other people. You have to view it like you're married to those people, because right now you have a responsibility to act towards them the greatest possible way. You have a responsibility to treat everybody you meet in the best manner. You can't walk on the bus and ignore the guy. Say good morning, thank you very much. You can't walk into your grocery and pretend this guy's your slave. give him the money, don't even look at him, look down, don't even look at him, he gives you the food, don't even say thank you, you forgot how to speak English all of a sudden, and if you think you don't know Hebrew, he knows what thank you means. You say thank you, you give him a smile. Every single aspect of our life, every person we meet is another responsibility and another opportunity for us to practice love and to practice chesed with those people. And if we think, what are those guys needed for? What do they need this tough Israeli, this Sabra? What do they need to say thank you to him for? He's just going to say, he's going to say something nasty to me anyways. It's not true. Every single person needs encouragement. Every person needs love, even your roommates. Oh, I'm so tough, I don't need it. It's not true. There's a famous saying in America. It says, sticks and stones can hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that is the biggest lie in history. The biggest lie and the biggest sheker possible. Because words are thousands of times more hurtful than sticks and stones. Words are the most powerful and the most destructive force in the world, and we see that wars are started because of words. We see that countries attack other countries because of what one country said. We see people who commit suicide because of words that they've received from other people. We see people who are depressed and broken because of words they've heard from other people. So a guy says, oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a comedy show. We're just making fun of the guy. It's a joke. I have a question for you. Would you take a knife and would you stab him in the neck as a joke? Oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's not a joke. Words are much more painful. Words are much, much more painful. And it's passing the halacha, like Moshe says, Shmuez, that you can do things on Shabbos, Mechal Shabbos, which will alleviate the psychological pain of a sick person. Not alleviate his physical pain, but if this guy has a certain thing he needs, he wants the light on right now. And if he doesn't have the light on, it's going to be very uncomfortable. What does he need the light on for? He's going to sleep anyways. Half dead. No, but if you have the light on, he'll feel better. So in his mind, he'll do something to make him feel better. Pikuach nefesh, he'll do it Derech Shabbos. We see how powerful it is, this Indian of making other people feel good. And I'm going to read to you an unbelievable Gemara. Gemara says, Mesechtes Brachos Zayin Amud Aleph. Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, the Kohen Gadol, he related a story. One time I went into the Kodesh Kodashim on Yom Kippur. Nechnasti lahaktir Tiferes lifnai v'lifnim. And I saw the Eibishter Kaviyachol sitting on a giant throne, giant, on top of a mountain. V'reisi akasrikel ka Hashem tzavokos sheyoyshev al kisei ram v'nisa. He's sitting on a giant, exalted throne. And you know what Hashem said to him? What do you think Hashem is going to say to the Kohen Gadol when he comes in there? He say, I love what you're doing. And he says, what do you think one thing Hashem is going to say to him? Hashem said, please, Shmuel, please give me a bracha. Give Hashem a bracha. What does Hashem need a bracha for? What does Hashem need a bracha for? And then Shmuel Kohen Gadol proceeded to give Eibishter a bracha. He said, Yirata in milfanecha, sheyichbeshu rachmechas kascha, v'yigoylu rachmecha midasecha. Your mercy should overtake your anger, and your midas your rachmim should overtake the other midas, and you should go with Nimisher Sadin. What does he need this for? I heard from Victor Miller that you see from here an unbelievable lesson, that even Kaviyachal HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs encouragement. Every single person in the world needs encouragement. Everybody needs brachas. Whatever this Gemara means, obviously it's allegoric, obviously we don't understand what the Gemara means. How could Hashem need encouragement? We know He's perfect, He does not lacking anything. What does that mean? But whatever it means, this is what it says. It says, Hashem, and v'naneli b'roishoi. Rashi says he was minded to him. Hashem said, thank you for the bracha. What do you mean Hashem said, thank you to the bracha? What does Hashem need his bracha for? What does he have to say thank you? You see there's some sort of concept over there of giving him a bracha. That even the Eibishter, I heard this from Victor Miller. Whatever you want to say about it. And therefore you see from there, Kal v'chomer, regular simple people need brachas. They need encouragement. Regular simple people need to be boosted up. You see a guy and he walks into your room, you should say good things to their roommates. You should give them encouragement. Oh, they know that I'm happy with what they're saying. Like the rabbi says to the guy, how come you never you still told your wife I love you? 20 years you're married. Oh, I told her the first time I married. She already knows, right? If anything would have changed, I would have told her. My roommates know that I think highly of them. No, they don't. You always say this terrible, disgusting things. Why do they think that? You have to always say encouraging things to other people. Gemara says, people, you might say something to somebody else. What am I to say an encouraging thing to him? I'm not his Rebbe. I'm not his Yeshiva. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not Rabbi Arush, I'm not Rabbi Malach Biederman, I can't say encouraging things. No, it doesn't matter. You could say one thing, one nice thing to somebody else, and that person will feel good about it. And that person, it could affect him his whole life. When I was in elementary school, I wasn't always the best kid. And one time I was sent to the principal's office. So the principal is a big tzaddik, his name was Rabbi Eisgrau. So when he was a young child, he learned in a cheder called Tiferes Emes in Brooklyn, which my grandfather was the menahel of that school. So he was the Talmud of my grandfather. So he told me, unbelievable thing, I was in trouble, I wasn't behaving, I was sent to the office. He told me, your grandfather was such a special person. And he gave me such warmth and such love. He's like, you are Einakol, your grandfather, Rebbe Wolf, such a tzaddik, and he was my Rebbe. He made me feel so good about myself. To this day, I remember that. To this day. Well, it was a few words, and I was in trouble. It wasn't even like a good thing. I was sent to the principal's office. But you say a nice word to somebody else, you could change their whole life. It stays with them forever. And the flip side, much more scarily, if you say something negative to somebody, it stays with them forever. People we know, unfortunately, have to go to therapy for so long because of bad things that were said to them. One bad thing Rebbe said to the kid. One bad thing. Oh, what is the big deal? Oh, that was just a joke. It might have been just a joke, but it hurts people and it destroys people. So we should take that power that we have of our peh to speak goodness. I think the Chaim writes that the koyach hapeh is how the world is created. Vayidaber, yomer, vayidaber. Hashem created the world with koyach hapeh. There's nothing else in the world that could create except for the koyach hapeh. The peh is the only thing which could create. So we should use that koyach hapeh to build other people, and to encourage other people, to make other people feel happy, and first of all, you make them better, you make yourself better. U'bay sidbuk, you become like the Eibishter, you become like the greatest possible thing in the world, the greatest chesed you can do in the world, Apis Yisrael, and with that, we should always shlemus. Here, Menu Amish. Go ahead.
Very nice.